A Haunting in Venice. It's currently on Hulu. It has audio description. It did not have audio description day and date, but Hulu added it a little bit later, a few days later, because Hulu be Hulu. And it stars Kenneth Branagh, Tina Fey, Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Dornan, Kelly Riley, and Jude Hill. And absolutely, I think we should say, and Jude Hill. I think he's a fantastic little child actor, and I'm excited to see him back after Branagh last teamed up with him in Belfast. So, it's a nice little cast, a nice little interesting assembly of people. This is based on an Agatha Christie book that perhaps is not as well known as the last two films Branagh has chosen to dive into. It's renamed, sort of shifted some stuff around, and it combines the Hercule Poirot idea of detective work with the paranormal. So, and that makes you ask questions. Is this real? Is he really seeing what he's seeing? Are there ghosts? Did the ghost do it? So, absolutely one of those films. And the third film in Branagh's series, and if I'm being honest, maybe the best in this series. Just possibly. It's debatable. I like the first Murder on the Orient Express, so I know it doesn't tread a ton of new ground, considering there was already a version of that. Here, I think Branagh allows himself more of an opportunity as a director to make a stamp on this character and really sort of show what he's able to do with the franchise, with this character, with other characters, with a mystery, with something when Poirot does not have all the answers right away, when it's not so obvious to him. And Poirot very much does this thing throughout the film where he continuously just kind of accuses everybody of something, and has some sort of he's like, I know what happened. It's this, and your motive was this, and this is why you did it. And then more shit happens, and then he's like, never mind. Let's go find out what that was. So yes, it definitely was a more interesting film. I felt like I was really engaged in the concept, because I honestly didn't know. The film did keep throwing me little curveballs, and I was like, wait a minute, what? What? Like a couple of times. I was pretty surprised by a lot of the choices that Branagh made here. And I didn't guess the ending. So that's a plus, and I was looking for it. I just kept looking at who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Which one of you did this? I was trying to do that game. I was like, let me see if I can outsmart Branagh before he outsmarts me. Nope. Nope, he won. He beat me. I'll admit to it. You might catch it. I don't know. You may figure it out. It's up to you. But yeah, I think I was looking. Sometimes I look a little too deep, and I start getting into the weeds. And I'm like, actually, this is the plot of the film. None of it is real, and we're all looking inside of the. I always think about the ending, the famous TV show ending, where the entire Saint Elsewhere or whatever it was inside one of those snow globes. It wasn't even real. I'm like, it's all inside a snow globe. But the plot is that Poirot gets brought along by Tina Fey, who plays an author who basically has been writing books based on Poirot and his exploits, or original concepts that, you know, just use a character that's like Poirot. And it's basically Agatha Christie. Tina Fey's basically playing Agatha Christie if Poirot was a real person and Christie was ripping off their life. There was this death, mysterious death in Venice, and down at this Italian palazzo, and she gets him to come down as her guest, and as some other people arrive, and there's some other people who were friends, and there's a seance that's happening on Halloween, led by Michelle Yeoh, who says that she can communicate with the dead. And along the way are Kelly Riley is there, Jamie Dornan, and Jude Hill, and some other people who are lesser known, and round out the cast. So, yeah. First of all, I love this cast. This cast is like fire. Some people have given Tina Fey crap for being in this film. Fuck it, she's great. She's great in this film. I don't know what those people are thinking about this film. She's fine as she is. She has a few minutes of levity that she bounces off of Poirot. I think she actually matches Poirot in a really interesting way, being the friend of character for the film. And she gets sort of like really interested when he starts asking her questions about like where she was, and she's like, "Wait a minute, I asked you here. I'm the friend." And then he's like, "Everyone is somebody's friend." And I was like, "Whoa, shit, okay, technically true." So, I mean, we've always made the assumption that that the friend character that invites you in is off limits, but damn. I guess maybe not. Maybe that's what he's trying to tell us. I don't know. Everybody's on the table now. So yeah, it's very much an interesting film. There are very much some moments where Poirot is able to easily explain the phenomenon, but then there's some phenomenon he can't explain, and he doesn't quite know, and some jump scares. Yeah, I mean, not like heavy ones, you know, not like, oh my god, not like, I would say if you have a teenager that's looking to get into scary movies, this is a great way to get them started on it, because the film is treading the boards here on whether or not it's whether or not it is a paranormal film or whether or not all of this is fake. So it can't go too hard one way, and but it also has to go a little bit in that direction and give you a little bit of that flavor, you know, a little bit of that spookiness in there, to give you that, to give Poirot that, wait a minute, what did I just see? And why did I see it? And how did that happen? You know, there has to be a lot of that in there. So, to make Poirot question everything that he knows and understands about life. So, very interesting cast. I think the characters and the cast members here are all solid actors. There is something called the Jamie Dornan effect, where I just immediately assume he's the bad guy in things. So, I had to kind of shake that off. I was like, this can't be that obvious. This cannot be that obvious. I had to keep reminding myself that he was a good guy in Belfast. I was like, no. He was a good guy in Belfast. It can't be. He was just a dad in Belfast. He wasn't in that Gillian Anderson thing where he was the killer. He wasn't. No. He can't be that for the rest of his life. That thing where once you see somebody playing a killer on screen, they're like a killer all the time. I'm happy to see Kelly Riley recognized here in a role that gives her something to do. She's apparently never going to not be nominated for an Emmy for Yellowstone, even though she's been fantastic in every frame of every scene of Yellowstone. She's a fantastic actress. And Jude Hill is oh my god. I think he steals the movie. To be totally honest, he takes the creepy kid thing to like a whole nother level. And he has some of the best dialogue too in the thing. Just dialogue that's so random, and you're just like, what is up with this kid? Is the kid the like I was just the whole movie I was like, what is up with this kid? This kid is so weird. And Jude does such an amazing job. He was fantastic in Belfast, and I'm so happy that Brana decided to use him again for this film. I'm really excited to see what Jude continues to do with his career, and I think he stole the show against all of these other, against everybody, against all of these other A-listers. The one person that just kind of had these like moments where I was just like, what did he just say? Was Jude Hill. He has the benefit of feeling out of place, because you're like, why is there a kid here? But at the same time, you're like, oh my god, this kid totally feels like he should be here. There's something very macabre about his character and the things that he says and does, where you're just like, feels like a real live Wednesday Addams almost. And it's great. I loved it. I love his character, and I think Jude Hill does a fantastic job here. So I don't think this is going to disappoint many people. Does it move slow? I don't know. It's bouncing around, right? It wants to keep you guessing and keep you engaged. So it goes in 50 different directions. It just feels like after sort of I would say like a catalyst moment, once you kind of get in this palazzo, and once you kind of meet these characters and we know who everybody is, it sort of wants to drop like a clean slate on you and have Poirot feel like he has many different paths that he could take, and he has to explore all of them. This is probably the most where you feel like Poirot does not know where he's going, which is hilarious because of how the film ends. It has nothing to do with the current case. They actually show him, because he's kind of, I guess, as of this case, when Tina Fey's character brings him in, he is kind of retired, probably because Death on the Nile didn't go too well. So it didn't go too well for him. But later, by the end of it, he's working on another case, and just the way that the film ends, I thought was just like, it's like, well, okay, he's got his fire back. All right, he found himself down in Venice, and you very much feel like the old Poirot is back. That this case lit that fire that he needed in him. So it's a strong film. The audio description does a really good job of maintaining and not revealing anything. Like I said, I didn't see the ending coming. I didn't see how that had laid out. And even the little twists and turns along the way, I was surprised by them. I was intrigued and surprised and engaged throughout the course of the movie. I thought it was really a strong film that way, and one of the better Poirot movies. I mean, there's only 3 of them right now done by Brana, but I'd love to see him go more in this direction. I think if Brana's going to continue to do this character, I think he absolutely should, look through the Christie books and maybe do the ones where people have less expectation, because this, I think, allowed it to be a stronger film, instead of people being like, oh, I saw this before, I know how this ends. I think people with Haunting in Venice are just like, wait a minute, what? So, yeah, I like that. I like that about this film. Anyway, very happy with everything, and I just wish Hulu had dropped a day and date so I didn't have to wait a couple days to watch Haunting in Venice. Sad thing is, they did, I think, drop it actually on Halloween, since the movie takes place on Halloween, but they didn't drop it with audio description, so we had to wait a couple days. Anyway, that's why I say my line, Hulu be Hulu. Because they just don't care. They are the honey badger of streaming services. they don't give a fuck. Anyway, I like this movie. You should like it too. Haunting in Venice. I'm gonna give it a B+. I thought it was pretty strong. Yeah, good choice. Good choice of a film. So, I think you'll like it. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Please click subscribe. I'm so close to getting to my goal of 200 this year. So, it'd be nice to smash past that and be comfortably above it by the end of the year. You know, that would be nice. So you can also go to my website, MacTheMovieGuy.com. You can follow me on Twitter, Threads, or Instagram. Yeah, I said Twitter. You know, what are you going to do about that? I'm Mac the Movie Guy. You can go to the Audio Description Project, adp.acb.org, to let you know what is audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to the ADNA.org. That's the ADNA.org. It'll let you know who's narrating your favorite films and television series. That's it for me. I will watch something else and see you guys on the other side.